Welcome. In the last session, I was discussing about neurohypophysis of pituitary gland. So this part of pituitary gland produces two hormones. One, it is vasopressin, also called antidiuretic hormone. It's called ADH. And another one is oxytocin. Okay, so first we'll see about this vasopressin. So what is its function? So vasopressin or antidiuretic hormone. So here the function of this hormone is it controls reabsorption of water by kidneys. I mean kidney tubules. So controls reabsorption of water by kidney tubules, and this actually helps in conserving water, and then it also helps in reducing perspiration reducing perspiration or sweating during dehydration. So that is dehydration is loss of water. So when we are losing loss of water, it will prevent sweating and perspiration, so to conserve water. Now here the vasopressin also has vasoconstrictor effect. It also has vasoconstrictor. So here vasoconstrictor, which means it reduces the diameter of blood vessels. Reduces diameter of blood vessels. So if it is the case, it results in increasing the pressure in the blood circulation. So it acts as vasoconstrictor where it reduces the diameter of blood vessels, right? And it also acts on the smooth muscle fibers of blood vessels. So here how this vasoconstriction takes place is it acts on smooth muscle fibers of blood vessels right, and this actually results in raising blood pressure. Okay, so now let us see what if the vasopressin is produced in less quantity and if produced in more quantity. So that is hyposecretion of vasopressin. So hyposecretion actually leads to a condition called diabetes insipidus. Leads to a condition called diabetes insipidus. So this condition we also call it diuresis. Is diuresis means the person will be going frequently to urination. So this diabetes insipidus is characterized by diluted urination. Okay, so that is what in case of hyposecretion. So we know the function of ADH. So that's what the name here, antidiuretic hormone. It is against the diuresis process. That's why it is called antidiuretic hormone. and that actually help in conserving the water. But if it is produced in less quantities, it will be not able to make the kidney tubules to absorb water back. So instead there will be diluted urination. Then the next condition, what happens in hypersecretion? Hypersecretion. So in case of this hypersecretion, it can actually cause a condition, meningitis. So it can cause meningitis. So here meningitis is inflammation of meninges. Inflammation of meninges. We know these meninges are membranes that cover brain, and also it results in retention of fluid, retention of fluid, then even edema in brain, that is accumulation of fluids in brain, and then weight gain, etc., are some problems that are caused when it is produced in more quantities. So that is about vasopressin. Now we will see about oxytocin. So let's see oxytocin. So here, so oxytocin. Now here this one actually promotes labor. So this is mainly responsible for, okay, promoting labor pains. So during delivery, okay, so labor during parturition, right? So this will actually act on muscles of uterus and make the muscles of uterus to contract vigorously, so that it pushes the baby out of the uh, uterus. And another function of oxytocin is it stimulates it stimulates mammary glands. It stimulates mammary glands. So this results in uh, release of milk from the mammary glands. So here actually stimulates the mammary glands to release milk. So we know that during the labor, so the release of this oxytocin also stimulates the mammary glands to release the milk, so that the baby born will be having milk immediately after birth. So that's why this oxytocin is also called milk let down or galactobolic effect. So that's called milk let down or galactobolic effect. So here the commercial name for this is pitocin. So there is a commercial name. So it's called pitocin. Okay, and oxytocin is also responsible uh, for promoting nurturing or affectionate behavior. So it promotes affectionate behavior. So that is some functions of oxytocin. Now we will see about pineal gland, its location and functions of pineal gland. So let's see forebrain. So coming to this part, we can see here the I'm sorry, I accidentally mentioned. We'll see about the pineal gland. So this actually the pineal gland is located on the dorsal side of the forebrain. It is located on the dorsal side of forebrain. So this is the location. You can see here the location of pineal gland. It is located on the dorsal side. We know this is dorsal side, and this side is ventral side. Okay, right. And this gland produces a hormone called melatonin. So the hormone produced by this pineal gland is called melatonin. Now let's see the functions of this melatonin. So it plays an important role actually in regulation of 24-hour rhythm in the body. So it means that waking up in the morning, to which you have habituated in the morning, right, maybe at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, and then okay, so remaining and again going to bed at some time in the night, and so that's what we call sleep wake cycle and the body temperature. So these are some functions that are under control of melatonin. So this is the 24-hour rhythm of the body is what we call diurnal rhythm, is called diurnal rhythm. Okay, so that is daytime. So diurnal, which means daytime. Okay, so we are active during daytime, so we wake up okay, in the morning and then go to bed in the night. So that's what we say. It helps in maintaining sleep wake cycle. So it helps in sleep wake cycle. Then it also helps in okay, maintaining body temperature, etc. And this also plays or influences metabolism. So melatonin influences metabolism, then even pigmentation, so coloration of skin, pigmentation, and then it also influences menstrual cycle, right, etc. Right, so the next we'll see about the thyroid gland. So the next one, thyroid gland. So you can see the location of the thyroid gland. It is located on either side of trachea. So you can see it. So this portion is trachea. So this is trachea, and you can see it is located on either side the thyroid gland and below the thyroid cartilage, which is commonly called Adam's apple. So this is thyroid cartilage. So below that we find thyroid gland. Right, so there are two lobes of a thyroid gland. There are two lobes, and these two lobes are interconnected by a thin flap of connective tissue that is called isthmus. So here this is the thin flap of connective tissue that connects the two lobes of the thyroid gland. So this is isthmus, a thin flap of connective tissue. Now when we see the thyroid gland, the thyroid gland is composed of follicles. So it consists of follicles and stromal tissue. Follicles and stromal tissue. And follicles are the one which are actually composed of follicular cells. So it's composed of follicular cells. Okay, and these cells are the one that will be actually producing hormones, and those hormones are, okay, two hormones called tetraiodothyronine is one hormone, also called thyroxine. So it's a T4, commonly called T4 hormone, and another one called triiodothyronine. So this is called T3. So triiodothyronine T3 and tetraiodothyronine or thyroxine, that is T4. So these are the two hormones that are actually produced by the follicles of thyroid gland. Now here for synthesis of these hormones it requires iodine. So synthesis of these hormones requires iodine. So require iodine. Okay, right, and any deficiency of this iodine will result in a condition called hypothyroidism, which means there will be less production of these thyroid hormones. So hypothyroidism is a condition, okay, due to deficiency of iodine in the dietary food. So the food what we eat, through which we need to get this iodine, if that iodine is not sufficiently taken by a person, then it results in hypothyroidism, so which results in less production of thyroid hormone, less production of thyroid hormone. So iodine is very important. Okay, and during this process what happens is, in hypothyroidism condition, the thyroid gland enlarges. So in hypothyroidism the thyroid gland enlarges, due to which the neck gets swollen. So this swollen neck is a condition called goiter. It's called simple goiter. So that simple goiter is due to deficiency of iodine in the food they eat. Now we will see the functions of thyroid hormones. Later we will see hypothyroidism and even hyperthyroidism. So let's see functions. Here the thyroid hormones play an important role in regulation of BMR, in regulation of BMR. So this one stands for basal metabolic rate, stands for basal metabolic rate. So what is the meaning of this basal metabolic rate? Is the rate of consumption of oxygen per unit weight of body, unit weight of the body at rest, is what we call the basal metabolic rate. So here the thyroid hormones also control the metabolism of carbohydrates, proteins and fats. So the thyroid hormones also control metabolism of carbohydrates, proteins and fats. Okay, then next they also help in maintaining water and electrolyte balance, maintaining water and electrolyte balance of the body. Okay, so here the production of less thyroid hormones can lead to a condition called myxoedema. So in hypothyroidism, so that's a severe hypothyroidism. So in severe hypothyroidism, it can cause hypothyroidism. So in severe hypothyroidism, it can cause a condition called myxoedema. So what is this myxoedema? Is swelling of skin, okay, and underlying tissues and underlying tissues. Okay, and that gives a waxy appearance, right? So gives an waxy appearance. So swelling of skin and underlying tissues is a condition called myxoedema here. So that's about severe hypothyroidism. Now apart from these hormones, the thyroid gland also produces a protein hormone that is called thyrocalcitonin. So another hormone produced by thyroid gland is thyrocalcitonin. Thyrocalcitonin, in short we write TCT. This simply called calcitonin is simply called calcitonin. So it's a protein hormone. Okay, so what is the function of this thyrocalcitonin? Its function is to reduce calcium levels in, and also it participates in phosphorus metabolism. Okay, so reduces calcium levels in the blood and participates in phosphorus metabolism. So these are the functions of thyrocalcitonin. Now here, if there is a hypothyroidism in pregnant women, so if a hypothyroidism in pregnant women, so then it can lead to some complications. So the baby growing in the mother's womb, that hypothyroidism can result in a condition called cretinism. It causes a condition called cretinism. So this cretinism will be having like mental retardation, then low intelligence quotient, then abnormal skin, then deaf mutism, etc. So are some things that what we see in hypothyroidic condition in pregnant women. So these are different malfunctions. So like mental retardation, low intelligence quotient, so that is IQ will be less, abnormal skin, and the condition of deaf and mutism is also seen if the woman in pregnant condition have this problem here. Okay, then I also told you that the hypothyroidism can cause myxoedema. So this myxoedema will have weakness, drowsiness, and sluggish mental activity in case of myxoedema. Then if there is a hypothyroidism in adult women, so hypothyroidism in adult women, so in her, it results in irregular menstrual cycles. It results in irregular menstrual cycles. Then coming to hyperthyroidism. So in hyperthyroidism, it can increase metabolism. So it increases. So we have seen that it plays a very important role in metabolism of carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. So it actually increases the metabolic rate, and then there may be even rapid or irregular heartbeat, and then there will be unintentional weight loss can also be seen in both women and men. Next, the glands which we'll see is about parathyroid glands. Okay, so here there are two pairs of parathyroid glands present on the back side of the thyroid gland. So you can see here, this is the thyroid gland. Embedded in the thyroid gland on the dorsal side, you will find, okay, two pairs of parathyroid glands. So there are total, okay, four parathyroid glands, right? That's one pair in each lobe of thyroid gland. In each lobe of thyroid gland. Now the parathyroid glands, they produce a protein hormone. So they secrete a protein hormone, and that protein hormone is called parathyroid hormone. It's called parathyroid hormone. In short, it is called PTH. It's called PTH. Okay, so here the production of PTH, it depends on circulating levels of calcium ions. So here the production of PTH depends on circulating levels of calcium ions. So that is if calcium ions decreases in blood. So if it decreases in blood, so this will stimulate the parathyroid glands to release a PTH hormone, and the PTH acts on bones. It acts on bones and stimulates the process of bone resorption. Process of bone resorption. So that bone resorption is also called demineralization. Is called demineralization or dissolution. So it moves the calcium from the bone and then it's to blood. So that's what the bone resorption meaning. So when calcium levels in the blood decreases, so it stimulates the parathyroid glands, and the PTH is released from them, and the PTH will be acting on the bones and stimulates the process of bone resorption, where it removes the calcium from the bone and then adds it to the blood circulation. And PTH also stimulates, so it stimulates reabsorption of ions. So it stimulates reabsorption of calcium ions by the renal tubules, and increases calcium absorption from the digested food. So stimulates reabsorption of calcium by calcium ions by renal tubules, and also it increases the absorption of calcium from the digested food. So it means that it is going with all this. So it is removing the calcium from the bone and adding it to the blood circulation, and reabsorbing the calcium from the renal tubules and increasing the calcium absorption from the digested food. So this results in increase in calcium level. So increase in the calcium ion level in blood circulation. So hence, as it increases the ion levels, so this hormone is called hypercalcemic hormone. So the PTH, that is parathyroid hormone. So the parathyroid hormone is a hyper, it's a hypercalcemic hormone. It is called hypercalcemic hormone. Right now, this PTH hormone along with the TCT, so both of them play a very important role. So here the TCT, that is Thyrocalcitonin plus PTH. So both these hormones actually they play an important role in maintaining calcium balance, in maintaining calcium balance in the body. That is by this TCT, the thyrocalcitonin, it decreases the calcium level. So the TCT, so this decreases calcium levels, whereas the PTH, it will increase calcium levels. So thereby they help in maintaining the calcium balance in the body. The next gland we shall see is thymus. Okay, so this thymus is a structure. So it's a lobular structure that is located on the dorsal side of the heart and aorta. So you can see in this picture, so this is the thymus gland, and here you can see the thymus gland have a right lobe and a left lobe. Okay, and this thymus gland, it produces hormones called thymosins. So it produces hormones called thymosins. So here this thymus gland actually degenerates in old individuals. The thymus gland degenerates in old individuals. Degenerates in old individuals, which results in decreased production of thymosins. Means as the age progresses, the production of thymosins also decreases. So here let's look at the functions of thymosins. The thymosins play a major role in the development of immune system. So they play a role actually in differentiating differentiating T lymphocytes, in differentiating T lymphocytes. Okay, and we know that these T lymphocytes are the cells that provide cell mediated immunity. So T lymphocytes play a key role in provide okay, CMI, so that stands for cell mediated immunity, stands for cell mediated immunity. Okay, and even they promote the thymosins here, I mean, so they promote the production of antibodies, promote the production of antibodies. So this production of antibodies will come under humoral immunity, comes under humoral immunity. Okay, so that's the function of thymus. With this, I will end today's session. In the next session, we will see the remaining endocrine glands like adrenal gland, pancreas, testes, ovaries, and so.